Knowledge sheet number 22, Shauch and Ashauch. See, when you are miserable, what has happened? You have gone away from the self. This is called Ashauch. It means you have become unclean. In India, when someone dies, the close relatives are said to be Ashauch for 10 days because they are very sad. They are impure because they have moved away from the self. See, the self is said to be that pure, untainted, clean, that aspect of the existence. So, whenever you feel you are sad, you have moved away from the self. You have become unclean. The self is that bliss, Ananda, Satchidananda. So after 10 days of being with that experience and reading the Gita, being with the knowledge and pulling themselves back into the self, then they are called Shaucha. They have purged out of the impurities that came during those events. So what can clean you here? It is, first of all, being totally with the experience. Any sadness, you hug it completely, you embrace it. That is the quickest way to come out of it. Many people say, think positive. That may work for a short while, but not in the long term. Because if you are thinking positive all the time, what are you doing to the negative? You are suppressing it, pushing it down. And there will be a time when it will all explode and life will be in a mess. So, our ancient people, the rishis, the saints, they knew the mind inside out. So they said, okay, if somebody dies, you are given 10 days of full freedom to be sad, be with the sadness, you cry, be 100% with the sorrow. In fact, those 10 days you are free of all social obligations also. Usually, if a guest comes to your house, you have to be hospitable, you treat the guest like God, all those things, you are free of all of them. 10 days you be with the sadness. So that is one thing. Then second, during that time you be with the knowledge as well. Read the Bhagavad Gita. Read about the self. Okay, one body has gone, but it has not touched the soul of that person. The knowledge of the Gita, being with the knowledge, it cleanses you again. See, the knowledge is both like water and like fire. It is said the fire of awareness. So with awareness you can cleanse, or with water. And water is also said in Sanskrit, the same word, apa, means water as well as love. That also cleanses. So after 10 days of being with that experience and reading the Gita, being with the knowledge and pulling themselves back into the self, then they are called Shaucha. They have purged out the impurities that came during those events. This happens again and again in life. You become Ashaucha and you have to get back to Shaucha. So there are times, there are situations, events, people that will move you away from the center, away from the self, which is when you tend to become unclean. So coming back to the self. Go deeper into yourself, then real Shaucha happens. Then you feel so clean and pure. Shaucha's benefits are clarity of intellect, a pleasing mind, focused awareness, a say over the senses, and thus eligibility to realize the self. This is very beautifully explained in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Shaucha is said to be the niyama. It is a rule. So if you want to experience yoga, if you want to have the eligibility to realize the self, Shaucha is necessary. And what are its benefits? First is clarity of intellect. If you feel that your thoughts are muddled, good thoughts or good ideas are not coming any particular day, you just take a shower, you just do some meditation, some chanting, and then you sit again, you will be surprised at how the mind starts functioning again, how the intellect becomes very clear and sharp. So first is clarity of intellect, then a pleasing mind, focused awareness, and a say over the senses. Haven't you noticed when you are sad, you also tend to indulge more? in eating something from here and there, yeah? Or you just want to lie down, sleep, you just want to watch some television, yeah? Isn't it? So there's not much say over the senses when the mind is impure, unclean, or sad, miserable. So again, that is the benefit of Shaucha. When you are clean, yeah, then there is a say over the senses. And there is focused awareness. Your awareness becomes, yeah, so sharp.